All right. So, Tony Khan officially purchased Ring of Honor. What does this mean for AEW as a whole? Now, there's a lot of things to come out of this Ring of Honor acquisition, and it is definitely a good thing in my opinion. Now, I was never somebody that watched a lot of Ring of Honor, and I will be the first one to tell you that. I never watched a lot of Ring of Honor. I never followed Ring of Honor because of the fact that, I just didn't have time to follow Ring of Honor. Not only that, it was not on television in my area. It was not available on any channel in my local area. But I will state this. What does this mean for AEW as a whole? There's a lot of things that mean what this acquisition of Ring of Honor means for All Elite Wrestling, and it's a big deal. It's a big deal, and this is coming from somebody that hasn't watched Ring of Honor at all. I mean, I know a lot of guys that came from Ring of Honor, but I just never followed it. But this is a big deal because, this Tony Khan, you can tell he's a fan of Ring of Honor, and you can tell that, he really loved the fact that he purchased the company. AEW is not going to kill it off, and, there's many different scenarios where you can go at this all at the same time. Number one, they're keeping Ring of Honor alive. I definitely do see that being the case. They're definitely going to keep Ring of Honor alive, and they're going to make it as their developmental league. They're going to make it as their developmental promotion, and they're going to keep it as a separate entity. I think it makes the perfect sense to keep Ring of Honor alive and make it as a developmental brand for upcoming AEW talent. And a lot of people are stating, well, AEW is bringing in a lot of guys. Well, they recently just purchased Ring of Honor. You can take a portion of the people that are not being utilized on AEW television and move them to Ring of Honor. It's no big deal because it's an AEW owned promotion now. It's a win-win for everybody, in my opinion. For AEW talent, it's a win-win. For talent that is not being utilized on AEW television, it is a big deal for them. But I feel like they're definitely planning to grow Ring of Honor because keep in mind, when AEW started, really Ring of Honor was kind of put into the shelf. I don't want to say of course they were still running, but when AEW first started, really a lot of people just did not care about what was going on with Ring of Honor because of the fact that they lost all their guys. They lost guys like the Bucks, Hangman Page. I mean, Cole, of course, went to NXT, Cody Rhodes. I mean, you got to understand that, Ring of Honor, a lot of people just did not care about Ring of Honor once AEW first started. And, when AEW was taking off, when they went on TNT, it was even worse. Ring of Honor was actually put in a really bad position. But you got to be honest right here. With AEW purchasing Ring of Honor, the potential of them wanting to grow Ring of Honor is substantially high, in my opinion. I think it's substantially high. I think it is definitely going to succeed, in my opinion. And I think they're going to keep it alive. But it also brings a discussion, and this also connects to my other topic, that being a streaming deal. Now, AEW is a company that has started since 2019. Right now, it is 2022. AEW has been around for 3 years. Ring of Honor has been around for 20 years. And, for 20 years, they got 20 years of the tape library. Now, granted, there were rumors earlier on, a couple of months ago, of AEW possibly purchasing Ring of Honor. And, the rumor was that only the Sinclair portion of the videotape library was up for sale. But that is not the case. Tony Khan has purchased not only the Sinclair portion of the Ring of Honor tape library, but he also purchased the original, the glory years of Ring of Honor from the 2000s. So he has everything. He owns everything Ring of Honor. This could potentially lead to a streaming deal with AEW and HBO Max. And it makes total sense. The lines are connecting. If AEW purchased Ring of Honor, the main reason whatsoever for them purchasing Ring of Honor is definitely the tape library. And it makes total sense for them to purchase the tape library. That was the main reason why the WWF purchased WCW way back in March of 2001. The tape library. And that tape library was very, very valuable for WWE. And WWE made millions of dollars off the WCW tape library by releasing DVDs, of course, the rise and fall of WCW, by adding a lot of matches on many of their DVD sets, and then later on to the WWE Network. You can watch, right now on Peacock, a lot of old WCW stuff. Now, I'm not comparing Ring of Honor to WCW because Ring of Honor was never at the level of a WCW. But this is a big deal for them because you are able to watch possibly, most likely, on HBO Max because that is the likely streaming service that AEW is going to be on. And that is they're going to put all the tape library on there. And they're also going to put all, their pay-per-views on there on HBO Max. And it makes total sense for them to do that. HBO Max, I believe right now, they're dipping into the live sports aspect. I believe they recently made a deal to air soccer for 2023 on live sports for HBO Max. That is a big deal for them. And, the lines are connecting. I feel like AEW is definitely going to move to HBO Max, and they're going to air their pay-per-views on HBO Max. But the potential for Ring of Honor is a lot. It's huge. Ring of Honor has a lot of potential now. I mean, of course, they're going to start from the ground up, 100%. It's not going to be the same Ring of Honor that the Ring of Honor fans have knew it to be. Ring of Honor has a show coming up WrestleMania weekend. I think it's the Friday before WrestleMania. It's the Supercard of Honor, and a lot of people are hyped about that show. I believe that show is definitely still happening. I'm actually going to watch that show. There's a lot of things going on that show. Guys like Ninja Mac are going to be on the show. Jonathan Gresham, of course, I believe he is the current Ring of Honor World Champion. Deonna Purrazzo is the current Ring of Honor Women's Champion, and she's also, I believe, the Impact Knockouts Champion. No, she's not the Impact Knockouts Champion. That's Mickie James. She's the current NWA Women's Champion. But, Ring of Honor, definitely is going to be revamped. It's 100% going to be revamped, but it's going to be kept alive, and it's going to be a developmental league for AEW. And I see a television show for Ring of Honor to air on a certain Turner station? Yeah, I definitely see that being the case. If Tony Khan is going to keep a Ring of Honor alive, definitely they're going to have, he's going to keep it alive and have a weekly television show. Maybe a 1-hour television show on either TNT or TBS, or they can go the streaming route and have that have new episodes air every week on HBO Max whenever the streaming deal with HBO Max is done. And again, it's very likely that the streaming deal is going to be HBO Max. It is a big deal for them. Not only that, I mean, they could have specials on HBO Max, kind of like what NXT did with their takeovers on the WWE network. People keep in mind, one of the main selling points of the WWE network was just NXT alone. And, I'm not, really, one of the biggest downfalls of Ring of Honor was NXT. NXT was basically, if you look at it in retrospect, NXT was basically Ring of Honor. It was Ring of Honor on a WWE budget. When NXT first started to get popular back in 2014, 2015, 2016, I mean, Ring of Honor was definitely starting to go on the downhill spiral. And what really saved Ring of Honor was definitely that partnership with New Japan Pro Wrestling. And keep in mind, I never watched Ring of Honor, but I know that being the case, with the Bullet Club taking off and Cody being the world champion, and of course having that partnership with New Japan and having guys like Omega, Tanahashi, Okada there, I don't want to say it breathed new life into Ring of Honor, but at least it gave people a reason to watch Ring of Honor. But, I mean, still, NXT was just this, unstoppable force during this period of time that they were the hottest thing in pro wrestling. That was the place to be for, pure wrestling, for really amazing wrestling. Back in the 2000s, Ring of Honor was that place. And then NXT basically, one of the sole reasons why NXT became what it was, and one of the reasons, NXT became NXT was because it was to compete with Ring of Honor. That's basically its sole purpose. And I'm going to have to say, NXT succeeded. NXT definitely succeeded. Now, granted, now NXT is not the same. If you want to say it's Ring of Honor now, I mean, it's not Ring of Honor now, but before, when Triple H was running it, it was definitely Ring of Honor on a WWE budget. And they signed a lot of guys from Ring of Honor. Throughout the years, they signed guys like CM Punk. I believe CM Punk was the world champion. They signed guys like Kevin Steen, aka now he's Kevin Owens. Tyler Black. I believe they signed Tyler Black, who is Seth Rollins now, but I believe they did sign Tyler Black. WWE did sign Tyler Black when he was the Ring of Honor world champion. So again, man, this is a big deal for AEW, and I think they're definitely going to keep Ring of Honor alive, and they're going to have it as their developmental league, and they're definitely going to have shows on HBO Max, which is the likely streaming service because it is a streaming service of Warner Media. And, it is a good deal for them. It is good. It's beneficial for the wrestling business because Ring of Honor, as far as what I've seen, was going nowhere. As you guys know, back in November, Ring of Honor released all of their talent. They released all their talent, and they were on hiatus for a while. And they said that they're going to come back. And they didn't know if Ring of Honor was going to come back, but most likely now, with the acquisition of Ring of Honor purchased by Tony Khan, Ring of Honor is definitely going to be staying alive, but it's going to be under the AEW umbrella. And you know what? Great. And I'm definitely going to be watching Ring of Honor. Definitely 100%. I will be watching if the show still takes place. I literally dropped a pen, but if the show takes place, I'm definitely going to be watching, the Supercard of Honor show because there's a lot of things going on in the show, and I'm very curious to see what happens on that show. Now that we know that AEW owns Ring of Honor now, so I'm very curious to see what happens in the near future. And you know what? At the end of the day, this is a good thing for the wrestling business. Be sure to check out full-length episodes of the Broken Havoc podcast on YouTube, in which we discuss everything in and outside of the Squirt Circle. Make sure to like and subscribe for more content, and as the frickin' referee would say, ring that damn bell for more notifications.